Welcome back, everyone.
Hey guys,
We
how are
missed
y'all
you.
doing? Abby, how are you doing?
I'm doing really good today. I woke up just feeling great, made a lovely avocado toast, and now I'm going to talk to you. So I'm loving today. How are you doing, Laura?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm pretty excited. I woke up with a little bit of anxiety, not gonna lie. But not like about the podcast, just in general in life. But we went on the internet and we got pumped up and now we're doing great. We're great.
Laura quite literally had a pregame without like any alcohol or anything like that, but she was just jumping and headbanging and blasting music. It was hilarious. And now here we are, all calm.
And now we're calm for now. Yeah, most people were like, Laura, you got to turn it up a notch. And so we're here to turn it up a notch. And once again, I'm going to say this. Thank you so much for all the love and support on last week's episode. Y'all were amazing. And we're just going to continue to grow and see where this takes us. I'm very excited.
Yeah, the support from all of the listeners is truly unreal. Like, we love you. We just love you. But yeah, so last week we just kind of did, an introduction podcast, but this week we want to switch gears a little bit and talk about friendship dynamics. So that's kind of the focus of this episode.
Yes. And friendships are so important in our lives. I know, speaking from personal experiences, like they have been there with me like family through really, really hard times. And that is just something that I would never take for granted. But friendships are hard. Friendships take work. They're relationships at the end of the day. And we've all had dynamic shift. We've all lost friends, had some friendship breakups. We've all had to navigate long distance friends, stuff like that. And so we're just here to like kind of touch on a little bit of that and give some of our personal experiences.
Right. Yeah. Friendships definitely change over time. I mean, Laura, I know both of us have some long-term friends, some, friends who are no longer really in our lives. And we just became friends recently too. So, we just feel like this is a really important topic just for us. Because like you said, they're so important. And they are relationships and they take work, especially not to like separate the genders, but like I will just say it, I feel like female friendships are a lot different than a lot of the men's relationships with each other. So we gotta like nurture them a little bit more, and we'll get into all of that. But I guess my first question I have for you, Laura, is what do you value most in a friendship?
The biggest thing that I value in a friendship is definitely like communication. I think any most relationships can work if you have really good communication. And you can just kind of see and you're very vulnerable and honest. There's not a lot of pride. And that is probably the biggest thing for me. And just like being able to count on somebody and have, also like know that they're going to be there for you when you're going through like really tough times.
Right. I 100% agree. I think in any relationship, communication is literally the number one thing that you have to have as a foundation. But especially as we get older, like we don't live right next to our best friends anymore. I know, and for me in college, like you live with them, and now most of my friends are states away across the country in different countries. Some people, so it's you really have to have that communication in order to keep the friendship. Something also important for me is like in a friend is really just to like have fun and not take things too seriously or not get too like offended and like let yourself kind of like give each other shit without being like, oh my gosh, that really bothers me, and to talk about it if it does, right? So
Right.
I definitely think that makes a big difference in like easing a friendship, is like have fun. Like you don't have to take things so seriously all the time. But can we take a real quick moment to just say Laura's wearing children's headphones and I love it. I love
These are
it.
my daughters, and somebody asked me if they were for aesthetic or which not shocked. I would do that for aesthetic or if they actually worked, and they actually do work. Thank you so much. But yeah, they're my daughters, but they're kind of
You would
iconic.
do
I was
correct me if I'm wrong, but you would do a lot of things for aesthetic. Aesthetic first.
I have done wild things for pictures for aesthetics.
What are some deal breakers that you've learned throughout friendships?
Well, on the flip side, like being a good communicator, if you're a trash communicator, like I can't do it. I can't do all the petty. I can't do the back and forth. I can do like real, honest, vulnerable conversation. This really hurt me when you did this, that. So one of the things I cannot take is competition. There's no competition in my friendships. I want everyone to win always. And I need everyone to win always because if you're winning and I'm winning and we're all winning together, like that is growth. If I feel for a second there's any like even like I mean, most of my friends are in relationships, but I was about to say, like, even with men or anything, like, I don't ever want to compete. That's never what I'm trying to do. I'm always trying to like build us all up and get together. So like, if you're not down for that, we literally can't be friends.
100%. I think competition slash jealousy, that's kind of hand in hand. And
Yeah.
also, um, I lost my train of thought, of course. Competition. I don't know. I was going somewhere with that.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird? Do you ever think
It is.
about that? Like when you have a thought and it's just there and then poof, where
It's
do they
gone.
go?
Where did
Kind of deal breakers are definitely communication, especially when you are like a long distance friend. But actually, at the same time, I have a couple close friends where we don't need to talk even weekly. Like it could be every
yeah.
couple months and we just pick right up, where we left off. And those are special, definitely special friends. But yeah, you have to like you can't just it can't be a one-sided communication type situation. And the jealousy slash competition is wild. Like you really got to just support your friends. That's so important to me too.
Amen.
And also, we don't want them, like, flirting with our man or anything. That's something that I
That
would
would
probably be like,
yeah, I dare. I would. I mean, I'm not in a relationship, and I don't plan on being for a while. But like, oh, when I do, I dare you. I dare you. No, I would literally never speak to you again.
Describe a time where you've had a friendship shift or you can feel the shifting or maybe it shifted and now you're no longer friends, but how does that affect you? And have you had a shift situation in a friendship?
I've had a lot of shifts in friendships. I feel like I'm going through one right now, kind of like with all my friends getting married and everything. Like there was some of us that were like maybe closer in different seasons, and now the other ones are closer and like can do like couple things together and stuff like that, which they're always great to include me, but it's just life and natural. And so like luckily my friends are not like big about third wheel, like when nobody cares. But overall, like you can feel the shift. Like they have like a different life and a different lifestyle than what you're doing now. And it's like how is that gonna mesh and morph together? And we'll always be friends, but it's just, a different dynamic. And then there's other times where, I've had friendships, uh, people like be upset with me and be like, hey, I need to take a beat. Like, um, something you did upset me. And I'm like, okay, fair. Like, totally all the time you need. And when you're ready to talk it out, like, let's be honest and vulnerable and like put it out on the that happened to me. There's been times, they come back around and they're like, hey, let's sit down and have a vulnerable conversation. And that was like, one of my dearest friends did that with me. And they sat down and they were like, here's the problem. Here's what I was going through. And I'm like, here's what I was going through. And they're like, here's how I was wrong. I was like, here's how I was wrong. This is how we thought about it. This is how we thought about it. We understand why we took our space and like we're back and better than ever. And that's like such a wonderful feeling. And then I've had times where like the communication was so off and it was so terrible and like the boundaries could not be met. So in the shift of the relationship, it was just like almost better to like just leave it. I will say in that probably that one I could have communicated that better, but it's hard. It's hard to do that sometimes with boundaries.
Yeah, 100%. And I
What
think
about you,
it's
Abby?
friendship shifts have happened a lot. I mean, really in almost every single friendship I've had. And not to say that's a bad thing, actually. Like a lot of it has been really great things. Um, but I think that it definitely affects me. I mean, it's like you're not dating this person, obviously, it's your friend, but they mean so much to you. And like if you feel like you're not, on the same page anymore or different pages each other, or maybe like you're feeling like they need space or maybe you need space, but it's just like an elephant in the room. I feel like that is one of the most uncomfortable kind of feelings to have and to sit with. And then most of the time, like, I mean, I've had a couple of times where we've just grown so much from, talking about it or just taking a step back and respecting each other's space, but also being there to talk about it whenever each other is ready is so important. But it definitely is like it affects me a lot when that happens if it's something where, you know, you're just like, okay, things aren't how they normally are, and I don't want to bother them, or maybe they don't want to bother me. But I think really at the end of the day, it's always something good that comes out of, a shift because either you grow and you like learn more about each other and, how to communicate going forward, or maybe you part ways. Maybe that friend wasn't meant for you, which has happened as well. And that usually takes a bit to like recover from because it's actually like a breakup.
Yeah,
Um,
they're so
but
hard.
but at the end of the day, you're like, okay, if I were still to be hanging around that person or, taking all that energy in, it would probably be affecting me a lot.
I think those are all ways to like set healthy boundaries in friendships. Is just like communicating and telling people where you're at. I would say that with most all relationships actually. Is just being honest about what your expectations are and theirs and seeing if they align.
What are some boundaries that you have maybe had to set with a friend when you feel a shift? Like what are some boundaries that you have personally experienced?
Oh yeah. I mean, there has been times where like I love my friends, but I have friends sometimes that get like a little too involved because they like I think that's because they love me so much and they just like want to make things right for me. But
Mhm.
sometimes they've like said things or done things to people, and I'm like, okay. Maybe next time. And you know what? All we did was have a brief conversation. We talked about it. We like let it go. And then, a few weeks later, we are like, hey, we touched on that. Like it was a little upset in the moment, but like you got what I was saying. And she's like, won't do it next time. And I was like, you know what? If you do, like, it's okay. Like, because you know what? We're going to make mistakes, but like, I just appreciate that you like try to pay attention to that in the future. And that was like something so small and so minute. And like one of my best friends, it was totally fine. But it's just like, I just was like, "Hey, that bothered me, like, please don't do that again," and she was like, "I was just trying to make it better." I'm like, "Totally." Like, to me, like, knowing their intentions is really important too.
Yeah, and I
So,
think it's super important to be like, "Hey, this is how it's affecting me," because, that will open up a lot of like, it'll shed light on areas that they probably or you maybe didn't know that bothered them or was affecting them, like, it's so important to do that, but I think the hard part about setting boundaries is like how you're wording it and like your demeanor going into it because you really don't want to be like making your friend feel bad, you're just trying to explain this is how I feel. And I've had that too where, I've had friends that say like I would prefer, you to communicate this way over that way. Or, I have more of an avoidant attachment style just in general. And I've learned a lot, especially with my friends, to just face it head on because it will be so much better in the long run. And really 9 times out of 10, you grow stronger from that. Have you been through a friendship breakup before?
yeah, I think I feel like that's a universal experience that we've all been through, and they are devastating. They are so tough. It's one of the hardest things to do, because it's like, what do you say? Like, it's not like a real romantic relationship that's like, "I don't see this going anywhere," or like, it's just and sometimes, like, I will say, like, I've had friendship breakups that I could have handled better. I'm, like, self-aware to know that, like, I could have communicated my feelings better. I kind of shockingly went more avoidant attachment than anxious, because
Wow.
sometimes, like, I'm just like, I know. I just but sometimes I just, like, let it go. I'm just like, I can't have this conversation. I can't do this. Like, you're not understanding. I feel like
What just happened?
I just knocked my mic over. I feel like I can't
Mic drop.
mic literally dropped. So I was like, I feel like I can't do this. I feel like we can't communicate and we're just like bumping heads and you're not gonna see eye to eye. And I'm like, I can't after that, I kind of have to like walk away. But it's been really hard. Like that friend was really special to me for a really long time, and, I have so much love for her too, like, I want her to win, but we just have different, like, values and things that we care about in life, and, I need people to show up for me in a certain way, and I'm not ever going to beg anyone to show up for me the way that I need. I give you a chance, and then, of course, we can talk about it. Everyone makes mistakes, but if it gets to a point where this is a repeated pattern, I I'm not I won't beg anyone to stay in my life and show up for me the
Right.
way I need to show up. I just will let you act the way you need to act and whatever. And it's sad because in so many ways she was such a good friend, but there are some things that I can't let go and I won't tolerate anymore. And that was that. Like I said, I think there's probably things I could have done better in that friendship breakup, but like who handles any breakup
Yeah,
perfectly?
there's no guidebook to any of this. You just have to literally go through it and learn on your own. And I also think, yes, it's completely devastating to go through a friendship breakup, and I never know how to handle it. I luckily haven't had many of them, but same as you, I wish them the best. And sometimes they even come in my dreams and I'm like, "Hi," and I like hug them.
Yeah, it's
And
like
then
you
I wake
have
up and I was like, that would be nice, but also the reality is like we tried to make our friendship work and it's just you can try and try and try, but at a certain point it's like, is it worth this much energy to like actually just be friends with your friend? Like,
right.
if you can't get to a place with your friend where you're like, okay, I hear you, I understand, I would do anything to make, our friendship grow and keep on keeping on with it. If you can't do that, then it's like it's just really not going to work. So
Yeah, and, like, if you can't have a conversation without, like, being mean, like, you've gotta be able to let your pride go. You've gotta let her like, be like, "That hurt my feelings when you did," like, if you're just defensive and mean and attacking, like, I have no room for that. I have n
me
absolutely no room
neither.
for that, because I don't wanna do that in any of my relationships,
A hundred
romantic and
percent.
not. Like, the fighting? No. Like, we can talk like adults or we cannot talk at all.
Yeah, I
It's
think
up to
in
you.
any relationship, whether it's relationship or friendship, or even just like your family, which is a whole other thing,
Ugh,
but
it's a whole other
pe-
thing.
people like you're never going to grow into one. Like two people will never become one. You grow separately, but like together in the same direction. And if that's
Yeah,
not
you're
happening, then
parallel,
like it's probably never going to happen, right?
right.
But I think that's what makes friendship so special is like, we both have friendships that have been like, 10 plus years or whatever. And like seeing how many different versions of each other we've met. Like my one friend, Ashley, we literally met each other in, I think, fourth grade. And so we've seen our child selves, we've seen our crazy, like preteen selves, our teenager selves, and now our adult selves. And it's really cool to like be like, wow, I know so many versions of her, and we are still the same weirdest little kids that we were when we met. And I love that part of things. But it's really like interesting to watch, someone else grow and be like, wow, we have the exact same core friendship, but now we just are like getting married and we're gonna have kids soon and stuff. It's wild. You just meet so many different versions of them.
That's so beautiful. It really is.
Beautiful.
It is. That's
She would probably be like, "Don't cry, that's weird."
that's
Shout out
weird.
Ashley, I love you.
Shout out.
What lessons have you learned after going through a friendship breakup?
Something I really learned about me is sometimes I cannot be confrontational because I am afraid of the reaction of another person. And that is something that I've had to learn to navigate to be like, hey, if you have something bother you, you've got to speak up because if not, it's just going to boil up. And then when they do something, you're going to be like, done. Um, and you like could have told them and maybe they could have fixed this, but now it's like too far gone. And that's something that like I know that I am actually getting so much better in like, not that I have like really romantic relationship, but like just with interactions with the opposite sex or friendships or anything, I'm just being more honest and more clear about what I want and what bothers me. And it's tremendously helped my life, and I'm so glad, that I was, like, taught that lesson in the midst of, like, something that was really hard. What about you, Abby? Is there something that you have taken away that's really been profound?
Yeah, as far as, like, lessons, I feel like I've learned, just over, like, years and years is just not to let everybody in so fast and so, like, so into my life so fast because
Yeah.
there were a lot of friendships, especially in college, where I was just so close with someone so fast, and then I didn't really know much enough about them and their personality, and, like, we were attached at the hip a lot of the times, and then something, like, crazy, you end up, like, seeing a lot of their real, like, true self and personality come out, and you're like, "Whoa, maybe I need to take things a little bit slower than this," but I think that is kinda like I can't, like, be so hard on myself because you really don't know. You're just like, "Oh, this is fun, and I have a new friend," but then
Yeah.
sometimes it's like that makes the, like, breakup part of it so much more like, ugh, a headache. I don't know. It's just so I think that's been a huge thing, like, I've gotten so over, like, shedding friends and, like, learning that lesson that it's like, okay, not everybody has to know every little piece of your life. Like, you don't have to spend every hour of every waking day with, like, someone that you just met, even though Laura, low key, we're
I'm,
pretty
like, literally on.
I'm like, "Ugh." Anyway,
Um, but I
that's
think I will touch on this, that kinda leads into that and also, like, our relationship as well. Like, I will say I'm very
Mhm.
hesitant when it comes to bringing new people into my life. Um, and, like, I will bring you in, like, we can call, we can FaceTime, whatever, but, like, I keep people kind of, like, here. And I am vulnerable and stuff, but, like, people that I'm like, I really, like, would hurt me if they did something against me, like, that circle for me is really small.
Mhm.
And I kind of almost find it as, like, a red flag sometimes when somebody, like, so much wants to be your friend and has no other friends or has no like, when they're like, "Oh my god, I have to have a bestie," or, like, "I don't have any other besties." I feel like something with you me and you, we, like, did talk, but it was, like, even though it was, like, 4 months, it was, like, gradual, and it was, one deep conversation here, one this there, and I didn't feel like you, like, like, you needed my friendship or I needed your friendship,
Right.
but, like, when we're like, "Wait, we're clicking. This works." It
Yeah,
was
that's
very more
it's, like,
natural.
magnetizing at
Yeah.
some point. You're like,
It
"Whoa."
wait, honestly, that's kind of like a relationship. Like, it's like, if you
It
don't feel like you
is.
need the other person, it's like okay, you're, like, settled in your life, and sorry, that just was like a brain click for me. It was like,
Yeah.
"Beep." Um,
No, same, and I think like, you even just saying, if someone really doesn't have any other friends kinda thing, it's like, I've experienced that a lot where it's like, I'm their only friend, and we're getting so close so fast, and then I'm like, over time, I'm like, "Oh, I kinda understand why maybe they just hop from friend to friend kinda thing," but, yeah, I think, our friendship is really special too because we both have, like, our set real close friends as well,
mhm.
and we just, like, both happen to come into each other's lives at the exact time that I've been like, "Hey, friends, anyone wanna start a podcast with me?" They're like, "Yeah, yeah," but nothing ever really happened from that, and you're, like,
Same.
kind of the first person who's like, "Let's actually do this. This is something I like." We both are so passionate about it, and so I'm so happy that this has, happened from this friendship, but I don't know. You're definitely my newest friend, I would say.
Yeah, same. I would agree. And I'm so happy to be
I'm
here.
so happy. I love you. But you brought up
Literally.
something in there, like, real briefly. You said something like even male friendships or something. I think you just passed
Yeah.
by, but that got me thinking, like, how would you say because we both are like kind of bros, like we got guy friends and girlfriends.
Yeah, as girly as
Um,
I am is, like, I can be,
yeah.
like, such a bro sometimes.
And we both have talked about maybe it's because you have a son, maybe it's because I have a brother, but like
Yeah.
we love our guy friends. It's like
I've
they're just our bros. How would
right.
you say, in what ways are they like different um, as opposed
Okay,
to like your girlfriends?
I feel like my guy friends are really honest with me, like, they, like, really check me hard, and they're like I I'm gonna quote a TikTok audio right now because of course I
Yes.
am, and it's like, "It was never gonna be you, it was never gonna be you, and it was insane for you to think it's gonna be you," and, like, literally, that's what it's like, and honestly, I need that, like, sometimes I need them to be like, "Hey, remember who you are, remember who you are, get over it," and I'm like,
Mhm.
"Ooh, you're right, you're
Right.
right," and, I mean, like, I think, like, too, like, I'm sure, like, would you experience, like, being married? Like, yes, you're close with your guy friends, but as they get in a relationship and you get in relationships, like, the dynamic shifts and then you become,
Right.
like, couple friends and stuff like that. And, like, some of my guy friends, when they get girlfriend like, I'm like, I either, like, reach out and we're, like, homies with the girls, or I'm like, we're not really, like, that close anyway, so, like, he's gonna do his
Mhm.
thing. Um, and so, like, that is kind of interesting and a dynamic, like, one of my, it was, like, my ex's one of his best friends is like one of my close guy friends, and he has the most amazing girlfriend. Kingston, I know you know this is about you. If you're watching, I love you.
Shout out
And I love all of her
Kingston.
friends. I literally love all her friends. She's so awesome. She's so amazing. And like, I always tell him all the time, like, don't mess it up. I'm obsessed with her. And also, um, I like wanted to become friends with her. I'm like, who is him now? That was my friend. No, no, no. I want her. She's awesome. And I think that's like the way to do it if you like are just like a decent human being. Like it's
You know
not
you know what the worst thing is when you meet one of your guy friend's girlfriends and you, like, love her, and then they break up and you're like, "Oh."
no.
I've had that happen 1 or 2 times, and I'm like, "I miss them, but, like, I can't. They're gone, like, it's just not gonna
Oh,
happen," but it's so sad.
that's never happened to me because I normally don't like my guy friends' girlfriends. Hi, if you're watching, sorry.
Oh, it's okay. You don't
I
have
mean,
to.
you're fine as humans, you just weren't good together. That's all I'm gonna say on that
No,
one.
that's actually it's usually that is what it is. It's just, like, you're both great people, but, like, you're not supposed to be together, and it
Yeah,
shows.
and it's like, I just don't miss that dynamic anymore. Thank you,
No.
peace out on that.
Like, making friends in your adulthood, that's what we're currently, like, experiencing because we are adults, and it's so different than making
Are
friends
we?
when you're are we though? Are we kids still? I feel like we're still children at heart.
I'm a 30-year-old teenager with 2 kids. Like, who
13
let
going
this
on 30.
30-year-old teenager have children
You actually are, and I
and
love
run my
it,
own life
and I love
and
it. This
business?
is why
Like,
you're
it's
so
crazy.
fun. But what have you, like, experienced with how is it different for you, to start, like, making friends now versus maybe, like, 10 years ago?
I think 10 years ago, I was like, whoever wants to be my friend, I'll be my friend. And like, whoever's fun, that's who I'm going to hang out with, or whoever's convenient to be around, or whoever wants to like live, laugh, love. Like, that's what I'm going to go do. And then I was really blessed. Like, I got a group of friends right before I had Charlie, and those have been my core girls for a long time. And so they've been through with lots of walks of life. But now, a lot of times it's like friends of friends, like if one of my friends gets a new coworker or whatever, they'll introduce them and then we're like become friends with them or and so we can develop friendships through that way. And then also just like I've been meeting friends on the internet recently. Like I have like a whole which is like such a bizarre thing. Like
Isn't it?
sometimes it really is like when I explain it to people, they're like, "Oh, wow." And I'm like,
I
no, but
know.
these people have watched me cry. These people have been there for me. These people have like filled in the gaps when like I love my girlfriends, like my core girlfriends, but like they have lives. Like they cannot hold my hand all the time. And not that I need somebody to hold my hand all the time, but like sometimes you just need extra support. And especially with
Mhm.
everything I went through, like these people on internet like have helped me navigate a lot in my life. And I'm so grateful for all of them. Like really,
Mhm.
like even if we're not as close or whatever the dynamic is like, like you're one of my best friends, but like sometimes they're just not as close, but they care about me and
Right. It's
that's
actually,
really
like,
cool.
explaining that we met, like, on TikTok, I always am like, I understand. Like, I'm gonna preface this with, "This is bizarre, like, this is weird," but I love it, I'm so glad that
Yeah,
it happened, but, like,
same.
it's just it's, like, a weird world that we live in now, but it's also, like, not that weird if you think about it because everybody's kind of on the internet, so
Yeah,
that's where
true.
dating is too, and
True.
so, they have, like, Bumble Friends.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, actually, I had one of my friends and she was like, "Oh, you should do it. Like, I got it and it's kind of fun." And so I was like, "All right, let's see." And then I was like, "Okay, this is kind of fun." But also, it was really weird. Like, I was like, "This is weird to have Bumble friends on my phone and to like scroll through like people. Like, how do you know you would?" It didn't really make sense to me. But like when I met you, like I saw your whole personality because you were on TikTok live and I was like, this girl's so funny and
This girl's
unhinged and
crazy.
I need to be her friend. And I don't care what it takes. And we like FaceTime like right away. And I was like, yes, this is a good friendship.
We were like, this is it. We get it, we get it.
But you
Yeah, it's
mentioned like meeting friends through your friends. And I like love when that happens because it's like I feel like throughout just all these years, I've finally gotten to a place where the friends that I do have in my life that are steady are just the best people. Like I have really, really great friends. And so I know that they like I trust their judgment with their friends. And
Mhm.
I have gotten a lot of really good, friendships out of those too. And
Yeah.
I just like love that because we're all like in sync. So that's a really special way to meet friends as well. But I feel like in your adulthood, it's like so different because in college, you meet friends at bars or maybe sororities or through your roommates or work or whatever. But now it's like just a whole different world of friendship, that we're
Yeah.
like, okay.
Yeah. Like, I feel like I have my friends and, like, it's almost like I'm like, "No new friends, I don't need new friends." Um, I'm hesitant about it, but also, like, right now I'm kinda like, it would be, like, so cool to have some single girlfriends. Like, it
Mm.
would be so cool to have some single girlfriends. Also, I'd
How
love to
many
own the
single
Bleeckers
girlfriends
meal.
do you have? Zero?
I
Not
don't think
one.
1. I don't think 1. I don't think I have a single girlfriend who is single. No. No, I really don't. But also, you have to think I live in Alabama. Like, everyone gets wiped up at 18. Just kidding, but kinda.
Like, it's so funny because you do say often, you got to remember I'm in Alabama. And I'm like, I'm learning a lot about Alabama. Like, it's a different world, I guess, over there. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, it is, it is. I'm
But
like
it's funny
yeah.
because when I was single, over 6 years ago, all of my friends were in serious relationships. And then like after I like finally got into a serious relationship, I found like most of my friends, like 80 to 90% were single. And then now it's kind of just 50-50, very much 50-50. Either way, it's great, but it's funny how that switches up a little bit.
Yeah.
You don't have any like 60-year-old friends.
There are definitely men on the internet that think we're friends.
There are. There are some old geezers out there trying to be friends with you.
Yeah. You know what? And you know what? Thank you for watching my stuff and liking my post and all of that.
Shout out the 60-year-old people.
But, like, if you're cool and chill, but, like, don't be weird, okay?
Don't be weird.
Please stop
Don't
being
be
weird.
weird.
Please
Like
stop
be
being weird.
be normal weird, not weird weird, because it gets
This
weird.
could be a whole podcast episode on itself about, like, internet safety.
Noted.
Like,
Oh gosh, yeah. No, it's so good. It's wild. It's really
they
wild.
scare me. They
Like the
scare me.
things, the stories and the things that you've just told me in the past couple months, I'm like, there's some wild humans out
I'm
there.
like, "Should I hire a bodyguard?"
Ooh, who would
That's
you
what I'm
hire? If you were to hire
my
like a
dad.
celebrity, a celebrity, who would you say?
If I were to hire a celebrity as my bodyguard,
If you were to hire a celebrity as your bodyguard, any
Dwayne The Rock
celebrity,
Johnson, also just so I can hang out with The Rock every day, all day.
that's exactly who I would choose. There's
Or
what's
Mark
the guy's name?
Wahlberg.
He's
I think
like
he'd
there's
be
like a
fun.
Van Diesel.
Oh,
What's that
yeah.
guy's name?
Oh, yeah,
He'd
from
probably be
Fast and
a
Furious.
close second. But The Rock would be
Big,
so fun to hang out with.
big Fast and Furious girl. Big Fast and Furious girl.
See, I can't say this. I like know that I just know someone died from there. I think that's all I
Paul
know.
Walker. Yeah,
He
the
was cute
greatest of all
too.
time. The GOAT.
R.I.P. R.I.P. Paul
R.I.P.
Walker.
Paul Walker.
I hope you're
My
listening. I hope you're listening and we love you.
you know what moment I just had that's kinda sick and funny at the same time?
What?
Cody loved Paul Walker and he cried. Cody's my ex-husband, who passed away, if y'all don't know. Cody cried when Paul Walker died, and I hope they're chilling. I hope they're, like,
They're probably hanging
doing
out and racing cars.
burnouts right now. I hope they're doing burnouts in heaven,
They so are. That's like actually what's happening. And they're also listening to this podcast.
and they're listening to, Hardy,
Eating.
"Give Heaven Some Hell," if you know that
Yes.
song yet.
Hardy. Hardy, I love you. Brief intermission. This guy is needy. Anyway.
The best ones are needy. Okay, so Abby, to circle back, we both have long distance friendships in our lives. In what ways have you done to like maintain? And I mean, we're long distance. Like, what are things that you do to like help grow and maintain that relationship?
Yeah. So long distance friendships really are the majority of them. All my family is across the country. Of course, you are like all of my girlfriends, other than like a couple who are here, but most of my friendships are long distance. And when I was moving to Arizona from Colorado, I have a friend who we got really, 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 really close in Colorado. And when I was leaving, she was like, I just like, this is going to be so hard. Like, I'm going to miss you. And I'm like, I know. And I kind of had to like, at that point, I have already, like, I've had experience with long distance friendships. So not that I had to console her, but I was like, listen, the one thing I will say, and of course it hurts me so much to leave. Like, I would do anything to be able to just drive over to your house and hang out with you and have wine, whatever. But I was like, I will say from all the relationships where I have had to go from being, right there with you to long distance, the biggest thing I've taken away is that yes, it's hard, but also it makes you so much closer. And I am so glad that that's the case, but you really do have to make sure that like you make time for your friend and like plan FaceTime dates or not. You could just call them, but I just feel like that is something where I have been pleasantly surprised with just like how close I've become with those friends and
Yeah.
how, maybe if we weren't long distance, maybe we wouldn't be like, I'm sure we would still be close, but it's like really, I feel like healthy too at the same time to learn how to work with that. But Laura, what about you? How do you manage your long distance friendships?
Um, I really just like I do my friends that are in town, like intentionality, like um planning times to hang out, planning if you can't get on the same schedule with FaceTimes, like planning a time to hang like do it. I feel like we're all really busy with my lives, even my friends that are not long distance. Like I'm not like, a lot of friends I can't just like drive over last minute to do something. Like it takes planning and effort and intentionality to maintain and grow and nourish that friendship.
And I think like it also opens up. I mean, I really haven't had friendships where we had to do long distance that fell through actually. I guess I'm lucky in that way, but
Yeah.
the one friend who I was just talking about, she did end up a couple months, maybe even a little bit longer than a couple months into me moving and being gone. She did say like, "You were right. I actually feel like we are a lot closer somehow. I never thought we could even get closer." But I think it really just kind of pushes you outside of your normal like comfortable box to and like if you can grow that relationship still when you're not in the same state, like, you have a really good friend, and that's, like, a friendship worth fighting for if you have to, but, yeah, long distance seems to be the theme of all of my friendships at this point, but it's okay. I feel like when you meet up with them as well, it just makes it so much more special, and you have, like, more fun than you probably would if you saw them every day, so but game time, baby. Oh, I
It's
love
game time.
game
We should have like a little
time.
audio like "Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee, it's game
Ding,
time.
ding, ding. I'm like, "Do I have a bell?" No, but I wish I
Ding 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 ding
ding,
ding
ding,
ding ding
ding,
ding
like,
ding ding ding."
here, let's make some music. That's terrifying. Oh my god,
It's
that was terrifying.
scary.
Okay, so this is a game where it's really like we really do be just making up our own
Oh,
random things. This is not
we be doing what we wanna do. We be
yeah,
doing that.
we're
Mhm.
just calling it a game. No idea if this is an actual game, but we in honor of talking about friendships this whole time, because Laura and I have really not known each other very long, like, not even a year, it's been a couple months. We just wanna see, like, how well do we know each other? So I'm gonna ask some questions, and we're each gonna answer for each other, and then we'll say if we were right. So basically, we're I'll just start with the first one, which is describe my perfect day. What is my perfect day? You think?
Abby is gonna wake up. She's gonna have Tyler make her some avocado toast perfectly, bring it to her. She is going to, um, then get up and go to yoga and live her best life and listen to the same song on repeat that she's obsessed with on the way there. She has no idea what the lyrics are, but she definitely is gonna listen to it over and over again.
The
Um,
audacity! No, it's so true. So true.
the sassy girl. Um, and then she is gonna come home and she's gonna lay by the pool and she's gonna play with Teddy. And then she is gonna do maybe some Legos, maybe some diamond dotting. She's gonna do some kind of craft, some crocheting. She's gonna do something with her hands because one thing about us is we love like a game, we love a project. And so does Abby. And then Abby, either she'll cook dinner or have dinner cooked for her. Sometimes she be vibing cooking dinner and she's gonna pour herself a nice glass of wine and she is gonna scroll on her TikTok and she's gonna FaceTime me. And that's like that's like a very like perfect, like generic. Maybe she'll go outside, maybe she'll like go hang out with some of her other friends. I know she really loves Zachary. He like fills her cup.
Love Zach. I love Zach. Zach, if you're listening, I just love you. And you know that, but I love you. Anyway, continue.
So beautiful. And but are any of her friends just hanging out and then maybe they're all of her friends are gonna come over and get in the hot tub and like giggle and play games and drink wine. And
Oh,
that's gonna be
99% accurate. But the only thing is I would never want Tyler to cook. I would never want him to cook my food because I know he could if he like he would do it because he would want to like do that for me, but I'm the one who would do it because I love it. And you're right, I vibe when I cook. It's like maybe it's because I like to use my hands and create, but
Mhm.
everything was right other than I actually would be the one cooking. But like you nailed all of that.
That was just a
That's
projection
my perfect day.
because girl knows she wants Amanda cooks for her sometimes. I can cook, but I
Actually,
like
you make
Amanda
a
cook
good
for me.
point. Maybe that was 100% right because if Ty like really loved to cook and was really good at it and like maybe that would be perfect, but
But
for
Ty does,
now,
you know,
I'm the chef, so
you're the
he can
chef.
he can like grill, which I don't know how to do, but your perfect day, oh my gosh, this could go so many different ways. Okay, you're gonna
Uh-huh.
wake up, and you're gonna be like, "Wow, I'm feeling so excited for the day."
Not sad.
You're not gonna wake up like anxious or sad. You're gonna wake up like, "Wow, I'm feeling good this morning," and then you're gonna crack yourself a ghost. You're probably gonna have breakfast that's already made from like your dad, and
Mhm.
they're probably not gonna be on a diet. They're gonna make you like something like not calorie counting. You're just gonna eat like the bacon and the eggs, whatever. It's gonna be so good. Then you're gonna go to Pilates. You're gonna get in. You're not gonna be on a wait list. You're gonna go in there. You're gonna be like wearing a matching. Then you're going to come out of Pilates. You're gonna probably take yourself on like a little lunch date.
Mhm.
You're gonna probably get yourself like a shrimp quesadilla and maybe a marg, and it's gonna be like 3 p.m. And you're gonna like get some well, I would say work done, but, like, you're like, you have fun with it, so it'd be fun work.
Mhm.
Um, or if
I
you're
do
not
love to
working,
work.
you do because you have a fun you do fun things for work. But yeah, you're gonna have yourself a beverage. One of your friends is gonna meet up with you, maybe Ethan. Ethan's gonna have a, afternoon margarita with you. Then you and Ethan are gonna go, like, shop at TJ Maxx for a little bit. Then you're gonna drop off Ethan. Then you're gonna come
Ethan
home.
would like me to say right now, he is not shopping at TJ Maxx.
He says, "I that is not
He
gonna
said,
happen."
"We'll go to Saks," but
Then you guys are gonna go play or you're gonna go do karaoke, and then you're probably gonna definitely hang out with your kids because that's, like, one of the best things you love to do, and you're gonna, like, giggle with your daughter because she's hilarious, and then you're probably gonna FaceTime me 'cause that would be a perfect and then you're gonna, maybe you're gonna, like, either play some kinda game or, like, as in, like, game pigeon or something, and then maybe you're gonna go out. Maybe you're gonna go, like, look real hot, go out, have a good time, see some what do you s like, people who look like men who have mustaches who look like maybe they just got out of prison, but they really just are a good man, and they dress like a 90-year-old grandpa. Is that your type? I can't remember. Something about grandpa is in there, and then you're gonna,
he
like,
dresses like
drink
an
a lot
80-year-old
of
grandpa.
water and fall asleep, and then, yeah, you're gonna have, like, 12 hours of sleep. That's your perfect day.
No, that was pretty
That was
accurate.
so extensive.
Yeah, I mean, spending some time outside, so maybe hiking. Maybe we hiked with the kids. Maybe that was the only thing you missed. And like, because please put me outside. I love sunshine. I love,
I
please,
was gonna say
summer come.
pool, but I was like, I
The
just haven't
pool.
seen you go to a pool
Oh
yet.
yeah, you haven't seen me at the pool yet, but she's a pool girly. Put me in a
Pool girl.
bikini all day, every day, and twice on Sunday.
Bring me on a boat.
Put me
Put
in
me
a
in a
boat.
pool.
I look so. I'm like teeing it up. I need a
Love it.
boat this summer. So anyone from Alabama?
If there's anyone out there who's just really wanting to buy someone a boat,
Oh,
Let
buy
us
a boat.
know.
Actually, I don't want somebody to buy me a boat. I really appreciate it. But if you would let me on your boat, because I don't want you I want
You
you
don't
to
wanna
drive
drive
it.
either, yeah.
Yeah, I want you to dock it. I want you to do maintenance on it. I absolutely don't want to do any of that. But if you anyway, this is my petition. Um if there are men out there who have a boat this summer, I look really cute on a boat. Studies have said
She's not wrong.
studies have said your girl looks so cute on a boat. So,
You look
just
cute, you look great on a boat, and you are the professional vibe setter. We all know that. So, put this
and
woman
I will bring expensive tequila and we can take shots. Like, please?
the
Anyway,
kind of tequila that you're not gonna get hungover with.
yeah, and we're gonna feel great, and we're gonna drink so much water, and the tunes,
I was just
whatever
gonna say
vibe.
the music is going to be on point.
So if that sounds like fun for you,
Hit her up.
comment down below, DM me on Instagram if you got a boat in the
Or if
state
you
of
have a friend who has a boat.
preferably the state of Alabama or the surrounding ones because it's kind of far to travel, but
If you go on a boat, are you gonna be on, like, a lake, or are you gonna be in the ocean?
I'd prefer a lake, but I'd love the ocean too. Just put me on a boat, okay?
Put me get this woman on a boat, my gosh. Okay, next question. What is my go-to drink order at a bar?
A glass of red wine,
Yes. Yes.
a nice glass of red wine,
And
and
yours, I'm probably not gonna get the brand right, but you are gonna get, like, either a shot or double shot of a nice tequila. I wanna say Casamigos. I don't even know if I'm saying that right.
yeah,
That or
Casamigo
something
Reposado.
reposado. So that or something that's gonna just make you feel so not hungover, but so silly, you know?
Mhm. Yep, that's the vibe.
Did I get that right?
That's perfect.
Eh. If I were stranded on a deserted island, what would my best asset be?
Panic. No, I'm just kidding.
What'd you say?
Panic.
Panic.
I feel like you would probably help me stay calm.
Hmm, wow.
I don't yeah, I feel like that would be, like, really what about you?
I feel like you would somehow just, like, like, know how to, like, take nothing from, like, the island and make it into something. Like, you would know what to do. "Okay, this is how we're gonna eat. This is how we're gonna have shelter. This is what we're gonna do," and you're gonna have it all planned out of like, this is the day we're gonna like flag down a boat to save us. You're gonna have everything planned out. You're gonna be the person who's like, don't panic. This is what we do. I don't think I would be like, this is what we're gonna do. I think I would be like, it's all good, guys. Ride the waves. But I don't think I would know what to do. I just wouldn't. But
I think you're kinda right, 'cause, like,
I
I
could
got some
save
tenacity.
you what?
I've got some tenacity.
Yeah, for sure. I wouldn't be able to do that part of things, but I would be able to save someone's life if they were drowning because I was a lifeguard. So at least I have that going for me.
There you go. Yeah,
Okay.
I would weirdly, like, kick into this weird instinct and be like, "We need to do this. We need to get food, shelter, water, fire," and I would be like, "Here's how we're gonna do this." I'm really, really good in very high-strung situations.
Mhm.
Um, and so, yeah, I think I could do it.
You so
I have,
could.
like, full and, like, it's so funny because I'm so girly and, like, you'd be like, "You wanna camp outside?" I'd be like, "Oh my god," like, it really, like I would do it, but, like, I don't wanna.
I don't
Like,
wanna.
because like, I'm not gonna put myself in a lot of I mean, no, I do. I believe discomfort is, like, really important for growth. But, I'm not trying to, like, sleep outside all the time. But
No?
I feel like I could. I could figure it out.
You wouldn't even be complaining if you had to do that. You'd be like, "All right, let's do it."
It's what needs to be done. Let's get it done.
Yep.
But then
What
you would
is
never hear the end of it, and I would complain for the next 10 years about it for sure.
That's
This is
so true.
ridiculous that they did this to me.
You're like, "Hey, person I just met randomly, wanna know a fun fact?" What this is such a random one, and I almost wanna skip this, but we're just gonna do it. What is my least favorite chore and my favorite chore? Why did we
Uh,
pick this one?
I don't know. We were funny last night. We maybe your least favorite is like doing the putting up the laundry, and maybe your favorite is cooking. To me, that's a chore.
Oh, that's funny that you said cooking is a chore.
It's a
Wait,
chore.
this makes me say, audience, question for you. Would you consider cooking a chore? Just let me know because that's so funny to me because I'm sure
Yes.
people do. I
Yeah.
just don't.
Yeah.
I would say yours is, your least favorite is probably, like, scrubbing the toilet, and maybe, like, favorite would be, like, Windexing the windows. I don't know.
Yeah, I like
What
to
a
clean. I
weird
think it's fun.
question.
I like to clean. I don't really mind cleaning. So especially if I'm like alone, with a podcast or a good song. Whoo, whoo.
What like, I can't even imagine what the way you just were like, "Especially if I'm alone. I love cleaning."
Well, when you have people in your home all the time, when
Yeah.
you get alone to clean, it's rock on, rock
Yeah,
on.
when I start, I don't really feel like I need to stop, but, yeah, it's not my favorite thing. My favorite chore is Windexing, and my
That's
least
cute.
favorite is toilets. That's why I said that for
Yeah,
you.
fair. It's probably everyone's.
Tyler is the cleaner.
Thank God.
He's so good. Keep it up, Ty. Oh, what was my favorite subject in school?
Maybe writing
Is that a
or
s
art.
wait, hold on.
I don't know, reading, writing, and
Yeah,
arithmetic.
there's a what is that called? There's, like, a word for the writing class. What's that called? I don't know. But, yes, it would be like that, like a writing class, and definitely art, but I feel like I didn't really have many of those. But if I could, that would be number 1. For you, I would say definitely not math and probably not reading, and probably not science. Maybe, like, ooh, I don't feel like this is way off, but, like, history? I don't know.
So your girl was like not the best at school.
Neither was ask anyone.
We made it through.
Yeah.
And actually I don't like really mind any subjects. Like I like to learn now. Um, but honestly, psychology. I only took 2
Mhm.
psychology classes, and that was my absolute Abby, I love the brain. I love the brain. I love knowing how it works. And I know like probably taking those psychology classes like literally like saved my life. Like, oh my gosh. That just like jump started me into like, I can fix this. You're kidding me. You're
Yeah.
ki
Like, wow. These questions, I'm like, we must have been maybe, like, tired or something.
We're so
What
tired.
is, the furthest I've ever driven?
I would say 20 hours.
Wait, so when we say driven, like, was I the driver?
No, you can be a car rider.
Yeah, definitely it was, like, 23 or 2 or something hours.
Yeah.
I feel like you probably were, like, 30 hours?
Oh my god, actually, if we're counting that, I went from Alabama to New York and in a bus with a million kids. Yeah, and we got lost in, like man, I was gonna say a state, but I can't even tell you what states are between there. I mean, I know Tennessee and Kentucky and but I don't know. I was gonna give you a state, but I'm sorry, I suck at geography. Like, we got lost in a state and they had to, like, turn around and, like, it was really bad. It
In
was
a
bad.
bus full of kids, that sounds crazy.
Yeah, so I have no how many hours that is, but that's an insane amount of hours from Alabama to New York.
Yeah. If we're talking about actually being the driver the whole time, mine was from Colorado to Arizona, which doesn't sound very far, but it was like 13 or 14, and we were stuck in have you heard of a haboob? A haboob,
Oh,
it's
what?
a haboob is a dust storm or a sandstorm, and we were stuck in that for, like, 3 hours while we were driving. You could not see in front of you. Our service wasn't working. Tyler was in the car ahead of me, and he wasn't stopping, and I'm like, "Ah, I can't call him. I just have to go through it." It was awful, and somehow sand was, like, getting in my vents in my car, and I was, like, chewing on sand. Wouldn't recommend that drive, but I had to do it,
Yeah,
and
no
here I
thanks.
am in one piece, so
Count me out on that one.
count me in.
Um, so the furthest I've ever probably driven myself, when I'm a passenger princess, okay, Abby? So
You don't
probably,
say.
I'm a passenger princess in a freaking commute carpool mom world. And I
Okay.
love I love being able to carpool and commute my kids, but also, like, not the world that I live in. Rude. Rude if you have to go to school. I'm just kidding. I love it. It's really fun every day
Oh my
to
god.
ride in the car with them. I'm kidding, guys. And so, but yeah, 5 hours probably. I probably only ever drove, but yeah,
Wow. That
I
must
tried
be
not to drive. I
mhm.
also was married for 11 years, and that man was never gonna let me behind the wheel. Never would he let me behind the wheel.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
I run over more curbs than I should. I really do, and I can't
Well,
park.
I don't have good depth perception, as my eye doctor told me, so I can't see
Should you
clearly.
even be allowed to drive? Kidding.
Yes.
I'm just kidding.
Okay, I have to finish up. Hi.
Hi, Charlie.
Can you hear her
We're the
laugh?
3 best friends that anybody could
Anyone
ever
give her
have. And then we had an audience question of the day, which I liked the one we asked earlier, but going back to friendships, what are some of the ways that you all are making friendships recently? Is it just through friends? Is it Bumble friends? Is it bars? Is it work? Where are you meeting them? Where are you at? Is it TikTok live?
Is it? Yeah, is there any TikTok
Is it?
stories? Love it.
Would love to know. And then just a couple things. Color of the day. What color we are, Laura? What color are you today?
Um, and not just because we're wearing blue. I think I'm a little blue, like a little kind of dark, like a maybe a navy. I've
Navy
been like
blue.
kind of off today, but also like I think blue can still be vibrant and fun. But still like,
Mm.
mm,
Meh.
mm.
Meh.
I'm a
Meh.
sad girl.
Oh,
I be
Aura.
sad sometimes. I
That's
know.
okay. You know, it's good to be sad sometimes. You are like a dark blue today.
A dark blue, yes. How are you feeling today?
Also, I was my first thought too is like this color. I feel like at this point it's like whatever color I'm wearing it might be. But yeah, no, I feel like a little not sad, but like I don't know, just a little light blue. I mean, like I'm happy, but it's definitely what day is it? Wednesday? Maybe that's why. Hump day. Hump day.
Hump day.
Hey, get your hump on. Okay. Someone stop me. Um, and music. We always have like one song on repeat. What is it for you?
I have to, of course. So the song that I am listening to over and over again is Hungover by Wiley Beckett. This is a new one. He's good. Really, really enjoy it. And also, gosh, I literally sat and listened to this for probably 2 hours on repeat. If you want to talk about my mental health, it's You'd Never Know by Evan Honer,
Yeah, you sent me that
Honor.
one.
Yeah, it is. Oh God, that is so good. It just basically says, like, you would never know that she looks so put together, you'd never know that she is, like, struggling.
I don't know
She's
if I
17.
can't remember what song I said last week. It might be the same one, but I'll give 2 then. Rockstar by Hardy. Oh my gosh, I just headbang all the time to that song. And then Champagne Shit, and it's by Janelle Monáe, Lotto, Quavo. It's good.
Cueva.
It's
I
like
love that song. You've
love
sent
it.
me both of them, and I'm obsessed with them.
Yeah. That's a song I found in the summer, but it's resurfacing for me. And then we're gonna obviously talk about 1 or 2 things we've learned on the internet this week. You wanna start?
Yes. Okay. So this is actually from Instagram, not TikTok. And her name is Shaggy Soph. And she has, oh my gosh, I've really been into this. I was showing Abby cowboy art. It's like really niche, but I really have been loving like these. They're like these like sketch drawings, but they
Ooh,
have like um uh I like when it hurts, at least I can feel anything at all. Like it just has like profound little, well, one of them's
are
it
you
is what it is.
okay?
XO.
I'm like, "Are you alright? Do you need a hug? Maybe a
Yeah.
spa day, maybe draw yourself a bath, maybe some under eye patches. What do you need? How can I help you?"
Uh,
I'm just kidding.
um,
Oh,
you had my heart, but no stomach to take it. I don't know. I think it's just like good, like little. Um, Sometimes I want to ask for help, but when I do, it sounds like, "How is the weather?"
wait, can you explain what that means?
Sometimes I ask for help and it comes out, "How is the weather?" Like it's basically like I don't know how to do it. So like it literally like
Won't come out.
it
You
won't,
won't.
it like literally won't come out. Like you'll literally just like make small talk instead of be like, "I need help."
Mhm. Yeah, no, I feel like that's a
What
really relatable
what about you? What did you learn from the
well,
internet?
Crazy you ask. This is actually something where my cousin originally sent this to me, and I was like, "Why do I care about this?" And now I really care about it. But and I think I told you this too, but there is this stingray, and I don't know her name. She's pregnant, and she's gonna be giving birth, I guess, this week. But the weird thing about this is that she has not had any other stingrays near her at all, like in her enclosure for it's been like over 8 years. The only other, I think, fish in there with her are sharks. So how is she pregnant? They're like, how is she pregnant? And if she is, well, she is pregnant. They did like ultrasounds and stuff. But when she gives birth, they're like, either this stingray is about to have babies that are half stingray, half shark, which I guess has never happened or is not possible for her. No, sorry. Either she's gonna have stingray shark babies, or she's going to be like the Jesus of stingrays, where like she just got pregnant on her own, which that is not something that can happen with her species. That's what I learned. So she's giving birth this week. Stay tuned for Mama Stingray, maybe having little shark stingray babies, or maybe she's Jesus. One way to find out.
She is Mary. She's Mother Mary.
So yeah, that's what
Who's
I
to know
learned.
that she said, "That's what I've learned today."
And I'm like, I hope she's all right. I hope they come out the little, I guess they call them cubs. I hope they're good.
Cups? Okay.
Um,
Hmm.
but that's all we have today, unless you had anything else, Lara.
That's all I've got today.
Well, we love you guys and thank you again for all of the support. We're going to, as always, try to do this weekly. And we hope to see you next time. So follow us on everything, just not in
It
real life. Don't show up at our houses. That would be so weird.
Please don't show up at my house. I've talked about on Instagram and TikTok, and also I am Laura Swindle on TikTok and Laura Swindle _ on Instagram. And Abby is Abby Huff. You have numbers by your name. What are they? I can't remember.
Instagram is Abby Huff _ TikTok name. How do you even Abby _ Huff _ 14 on
Nice.
TikTok.
Fun fact about me is I have reported a girl whose name is Laura Swindle who never used her account because I want just Laura Swindle and not Laura Swindle _, and it's never worked. Anyway, so if Laura Swindle, if you're listening to this, I want your Instagram
Give it
name.
up. Hand it over,
Delete
Laura
it. You
Swindle.
don't even use
Second.
it.
Hand it
You hear her
over.
crying in the
You don't
background?
even use it.
You don't even use it.
You don't
Give
even
it to
care.
me. Give me Laura Swindle, okay?
Thank you for listening. We love you. We will see you next week. And bye.
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 Bye-bye.
Bye
Bye-bye
bye bye.
now.
Bye
Bye-bye
bye.
now.
Bye bye
Bye-bye
bye.
now.
Bye bye. Okay, bye.